in person. That would be great. So let me start the recording. I think it's coming. The recording started. It's not showing. Yeah. So welcome back. I think almost 2 weeks of gap came. So in these 2 weeks, you had a mid-sem break as well as your mid-sem examination. So hope everything is over. So let us relook into what we covered already. So maybe I will just remind you what we covered. So we started with introduction, that is understanding what is this course is about and what are the expectations. And next we discussed about the definition of intelligence as our concept. So after definition of intelligence, I think we attempted to understand what are the different levels of intelligence. So I hope you remember that. Let me take you back. So first we discussed about the definition of first we discussed about the force. Then we discussed about outcomes. And discussed about the definition of intelligence. Then we worked out some examples, and also we discussed the levels of intelligence, where we found the 7 levels of intelligence, which gives different kinds of products and which will be used in different cases and conditions. Okay. So next we moved on to, I think we applied different levels of intelligence on this particular system. And also, hope you submitted that assignment. And also we discussed dimensions of intelligence. So, but in dimensions of intelligence, how many we covered in the last class? So how many we covered? The last class, anybody remember?
3.
Yeah, 3. So cooperative intelligence, adaptability, and reactive. So before going to other 3, just I would like to ask a question that I just want you to remember again. What is mean by intelligence? What is the definition of intelligence? Anybody remember? Anybody remember? Hope you are maintaining a notes.
Yes, sir. Intelligence measures a system's ability to achieve goals in a wider range of environments.
Right. So it's a system or agent's ability to achieve goals in wide range of environments. I clearly emphasized there that what is mean by ability. So you have to map always the abilities with functions, and goals. You have to define the goals, or at least you have to identify what are the goals of that particular system, and you have to understand the environment. So what is mean by environment? Anybody remember? In that definition, he said environment, right? So what is mean by environment? Anybody remember?
Change in functionality.
No, environment I'm asking.
Visible items.
So what is mean by environment of a system?
Everything around the system.
Ah, very good. So everything around the system. That means all the surrounding systems, conditions, parameters, whatever is prevailing around a particular system of interest, then that is everything come under environment. Okay, it's not only climatic condition; it's everything. Okay, so that is called environment. And here I would like to ask one more question, just to see whether you remember something or not. So what is mean by cooperative intelligence we discussed in the last class? cooperative intelligence?
So basically, the system could cooperate or communicate with its subsystems or other systems for performing some task.
Right. Yeah. Anything? Anything else? So the ability of the system to communicate with other systems externally and the subsystems internally. Then it is said to have cooperative intelligence. Is that the only thing or something else you can add? It is cooperating others. Can you add something more? So it is not only cooperating others, it is also getting the cooperation from others. So in cooperative intelligence, system has the capability to cooperate with other systems or in the environment and cooperate with the subsystems within it and also get the cooperation from the environment. Okay. So if they have that kind of features or functions, then if it is showing that kind of behavior, then it's said to have cooperative intelligence. So next is adaptability. So can somebody remind me what is the adaptability intelligence as name suggests?
The system change itself to achieve a goal.
Yes. The system change itself to achieve a goal in a environment, in a particular environment. That means it is not going to damage the environment or going to change any parameter in the environment. First of all, system change on its own, change itself according to the environment. So that is, suppose if you have different functions which will make you to adjust to different environments, adjust to different conditions, then you said to have the adaptability intelligence. So those all features which will give you the ability to adapt or ability to change yourself according to the conditions or the environment, then you said to have adaptability intelligence. Next, the third one, reactivity intelligence or reactive intelligence. So what is meant by that? Anybody remember?
The system change the environment to achieve a goal.
Sir,
Yes,
one is changing the functions or features to change the environment according to its convenience.
yes. So that means system is changing the environment. System is changing the environment as per its convenience. So system is actually reacting. System is reacting to the environment so that it will pacify the impact of environment. Okay. So if those features are there in your system or in your device, then your system has said to be having reactive intelligence. Please remember, reactive intelligence, system may not change something, but system always pacify the effect of the environment by using some process. Okay. That means the effect of environment, it will nullify by using some process. Okay. So that is called a reactive intelligence, but it is not changing according to the environment. It is changing the effect of the environment. It is just nullifying the effect of the environment. That means changing the environment. Or you can understand it, it is always trying to change the effect of the environment. Okay. It is reacting to that. Okay. It is nullifying the effect. So that is called a reactive intelligence. In the same way, the personality. Now we are going to discuss in this class the personality intelligence and human-like interaction and autonomy. Okay. So this related reference paper also, I reference material also I shared in your classroom. Okay. In the files you can find that one. From that, if you see, The personality is nothing but the set of credible character, the set of features that represents the credible character. What is this? What is mean by credible character? Let me explain. Because somebody says that I am going to make a device which will work as uh, the assistant. So assistant means, what do you expect? So assistant means, what do you expect? Suppose some device I
The
am
work
making. Yes,
the work which we will tell to that system, it should do that, sir.
right. It should obey your instructions. Am I right? And assistant also, yeah,
So it's
it should
kind of a
obey your
helping
order
hand.
or whatever you tell, it has to do that. Yes, fine. Next.
It should not say no to our tasks or works.
Yes, whatever you assign, it has to fulfill. It cannot say no, or it cannot say I can't do. Okay, so then you call it as assistant or assistance. So if you make a device with these features, which will actually obey you, listen to your task, and help you to complete the different works, and always don't say no, at least they will find something to complete your task, and which will actually follow your instructions all the time. So this is called assistant. That means whatever the features I am telling, obeying you and completing your task, assisting you in completing the task, never say no. These are all the features you are defining as a character for assistant. If you combine these features together, you are actually giving a character to that particular device. That's why you are calling it as assistant. That means that particular device has the behavior of assistant. Okay, that is called personality. That means you are going to depend on it in such a way that it is having a credible character of assistant. That means because of the features you are bringing in that particular device, because of the features and functionalities you are making in that device, because of the features and functionalities you are building in that device, it is showing some behavior which will always help you, obey you, assist you, and never say no. Okay, so this kind of behavior is actually called as a character of assistant. Character of assistant. That means you are giving a character to that particular device by giving these different features. Those features are creating a behavior of assistant. That means you are giving a character to that particular device. That is called personality intelligence. That means your device, that may be a robot, that may be a device or anything else, if it is showing the features of a specific character, which you call as a credible character. Credible character. That means you can define the character. This is behaving like this. This is behaving like my assistant. This is behaving like my friend. This is behaving like mother. This is behaving like my brother. That means you are giving some features which will actually building the character in that device. Okay. Suppose uh, if I ask you that you build a device which will actually work like a uh, which will work like a student, let us assume. Okay, so which will work like a student. In that case, what are the features you need to build in that, so that the set of features together give the behavior of student. So what are the features do you think the device must have in order to get the character of student? Is my question clear? What I am asking is, suppose if you want to make your device to work like student, then what are the features you need to give to the student or to your device to make it work like a student? That means you are giving a character through these features or functions. So what are the features student must have?
The device should write anything by listening the things. If we
Very good, very good. Device should be able to listen and write it. Am I right? Right. Next.
So
Very good.
learning capability for the device.
No. Make it little clear. What is mean by learning capability?
So like learning from certain mistakes and all.
No, it's still generalized.
I think the device should store some information
Ah,
in it,
memorizing. Right?
memorize.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That means first of all, it should be able to listen, then it should be able to memorize, and then it should be able to write. Then anything else? To make your device behave like student.
And also it should speak the information what it has memorized, sir.
Yes, it has to reveal out the memorized information or relevant information in a right time. Okay. So when somebody asked Newton third law, it should not tell the Bernoulli's principle. Okay. So that right time answering should be there. Yes, agreed. That feature also should be there. Next.
Device should be curious to take knowledge or take information from any
That's
kind of
what
source.
again. See, you are going to general terms like learning, curiosity. Do you know really what is curiosity? I don't know who is talking. Who is talking? Yeah. What is curiosity? So that's why please don't use the general terms. You tell me what is the function it has to uh, have to say it is curious. Any others? So student must have only these features. Any other features also must be there.
Obey its master's instructions.
Obey its master's instructions. Okay. Can you ask doubts?
Yes.
Yes, that means it has to obey at the same time. Analytically, it has to ask some questions also. Am I right? That is what student. Next. So if these features one by one, that means a student won't sit like that, right? A student always talk with the neighbor and make friends. And making friends, what is the feature helps to make friends? It has to talk to other systems. It has to interact with its environment. Am I right? So when it is interacting with its environment, it has to talk to other students also. Then what is mean by this friendship? How it is going to create a friendship with other systems? What is the feature needed there? Any deeper insights on that?
So communication and
No, no, friendship.
cooperative.
Yes, Very good. Cooperative communication. But what do you really think friendship means? Because this fellow is attaching only to that person or only to group of number of people, and he or she saying that they are my friends. So what is really making that attachment, and how we define and make it to a intelligent part? How you define that attachment?
So
Can we
like
really? Yeah, please.
so like with our friends, we all friends help each other in doing some task or coming up with solution of certain problem. So
No.
similar.
All friends together going to the movie. Okay, doing task, all the very ideal things you are telling. Okay, don't worry about that. So you are going to the movie. Still, I'm asking, my question is fundamental. Why you are discriminating others and saying somebody as your friend? What is that exactly making
Common
you
interest.
feel he is your friend? And is that feature can be realized in intelligence? That means, can you code that in your device to bring that features? That means,
Common interest.
yes, yes.
Common interest.
Who is that fellow? Common interest. Okay, good.
Yes.
Common interest or taste. That is good. Mm.
Yes, sir. We can program into the two devices, and if we can see compare both of them.
Yes. So common interest, common form, or something common you are going to find, and that commonality you are memorizing. Okay, that's a function. Identifying the commonality, it is little deeper. Identifying the commonality, and then you are actually memorizing it. So that is what you are calling it as attachment. Whether commonality really is there or not, it doesn't matter actually. Some other people may act in front of you that they're having the virtues which you like. Okay, so that's a commonality. It is identifying and memorizing and thinking that system with that commonality is my friend. That is actually the deeper understanding of why it is feeling friendship. So that way, if you create an algorithm, it can make friends. It can definitely make friends. Okay, so that means if you want to make a student, or if you want to make some device or a robot to work like a student, that means you are creating a character. How you create? Through behavior. How you create? Through features. What are the features you need? Is that to obey the master, it has to listen to the master, it has to write down, it has to memorize, it has to answer the right things which are in its memory, and it has to analyze and ask the question. So these are all the features creating the behavior of student. That behavior only actually making or created as a character. Then you call my device is working like a character. Okay. So that is what
And
mean by
also it should have some,
yes, yes.
and also it should have some thinking capability to take decisions at respective situations, no, sir,
That's what
accordingly.
I'm telling. Analyzing and asking doubts, I told, right? Analyzing and asking doubt, that analysis will be there all the time. The analysis part should be there with the student. He should not be very blindfold. So he should analyze things. Okay. So, and making friends, finding out the commonalities. If you give these all features together combined, create a behavior called student. So if that behavior is there, then you can tell my device works like student. So this way, in personality intelligence, you are going to create set of features in your device or in your system that are going to represent a particular behavior or character in that system. Okay. So if you can create that kind of character or behavior in different systems, then you can create a different characters. That means you are imposing character to your device. Okay, it works like assistant, it works like friend, it works like teacher, because those are there, right? Interactive teachers. You are making web pages or something very interactive so that online classes are going on. Am I right? So that by Jews, everything is coming like now intelligent. Okay, they are reacting, they are listening to you. So this kind of intelligence is called personality intelligence. If your system is having the character which is derived from different features and behavior, then that is said to have personality intelligence. Okay, so that is what about giving a character to the device. How you give the character? Through a particular behavior. You have to define that behavior. How you give that behavior? Through incorporating some features. Those features or functions will act in certain manner, create a behavior, then that behavior you can identify with something. Okay, you can create behavior, or you can create the character of mother, you can create the character of dog, you can create the character of buffalo, you can create the character of brother, you can create the character of assistant, you can create the character of friend, you can create the character of enemy. So that is what you need to create in your play, right? Game. Okay. So this is what you are going to create in the form of intelligence. That is called personality intelligence. If some system having those features which represents its character, then it's said to be having personality intelligence. Okay. The fifth one is human-like interaction. So what are the different kinds of human-like interaction? Name is very clear. Am I right? Name is very, very clear. So what are the different features of human-like interaction? Why everybody silent? I'm asking about human-like interaction.
So talking.
Good. Talking. Yeah.
Sir, and it should have some smelling senses.
Okay.
Thinking capability.
Just a minute. Yeah. Come again. Thinking capability. Thinking capability, how it comes in the human-like interaction. It is interaction. Thinking is not an interaction. Thinking is interaction with you, within you. Okay.
Sir, but to interact with the human, we need to think what the conversation we need to speak, no, sir, related to the question raised by the other person.
Yes. No, mode of interaction I'm talking about, not analysis part. Analysis part anyway will be there and it will come in everything. I'm talking about the mode of interaction. So human-like interaction is how you are going to interact with the environment, how you are going to interact with other systems, how you
So,
are going to interact with the climatic conditions. Yeah, tell me.
so with body gestures.
Body gestures, signs, the body language or sign language we can use to interact with others. Right, agreed. Talking, body gestures, sign language. Next, anything else is there to interact with the environment or other systems in the environment? Suppose if you call one person, he is 3 or 4 steps away. If you call, he won't listen to you. Okay, he can't see you, your signs or signatures. Then immediately what you do?
touch.
Touch. So is the touch hmm. Anything else other than that?
Facial expressions.
Facial expressions, fine. Yes. It is not gestures, it is a different kind of a gesture. Right. Agreed. Next. Anything else? So talking, then signs, bodily gestures, then facial expressions,
Sir, writing.
yeah, touch, then
Writing.
very good. Writing and displaying. Good. Anything else? Anything else?
So pictures communications are showing the respective pictures
Yes,
to
pictures as well as writing communication all come under same thing because you are displaying something. You're just making and displaying something for others. That's another way of communication. Anything else? So these are the different features you are telling. Now you check whether these features are there in your devices or gadgets or appliances or any other devices you encounter in this world. Okay. So where you are using the touch, where you are using the touch, what happened? This much silence. I thought immediately you will tell.
Mobiles.
Mobile. Touch, is that interaction between mobile and you or not?
Yes, sir.
How mobile is understanding you? Interaction between you and mobile means mobile is understanding your requirement through your touch, right? So that is the communication between mobile and you. Okay. Next, anything else?
ATM screen.
ATM. ATM. Can you please repeat instead of murmuring?
Yes, sir. ATM screen. Like we will tap on what we want by touching.
Your voice is breaking. Next. So we in the mobile phone itself, do you have any other features you see other than touch? Any interactive features? Can it recognize your gestures?
so like so facial
Facial gestures, can it recognize any phone?
sir, I think face locks nowadays phones are
Yes, facial recognition is there. Okay, that is one way of communicating with your device.
Biometric.
Yes, biometric is nothing but a touch. Okay. Next. Any other mode of communications you already see, which are human-like interactions. That means they must be like a human interactions. Any others? Because touch is over. So can you speak to your mobile?
Yes, sir. Voice recognition.
Yeah, voice recognition is there, right? So that is also a human-like interaction. So wherever you find the voice recognition, it's like a human-like interaction. Whichever the device is actually helping you through voice recognition, that is the human-like interaction. Some devices actually, if you tell something, they are converting that into the text. That means they are understanding you through voice and converting into text. Okay, so that is also a kind of a human like interaction. Now next, anything else? So in your mobile itself, I'm taking mobile as an example, but in many devices you see this kind of interaction. So when you are actually incorporating some features in your device related to human like interaction, first you must understand how user is going to interact with this device. What kind of interaction you want to establish between user and the device. Okay, device in the sense I'm talking about, it may be a portal, it may be a software, or it may be a physical device, it may be a robot, it's okay. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So first of all, if you are designing a human like interaction, you must have understood what are the human like interactions preferred by the user. Okay, so that kind of interaction you must create which is convenient for the user, which is convenient for the user. Okay, if you could create that kind of thing, then your device can interact like a human only with user. Am I right? So that is what we are actually talking like human like interaction. So if you give some features to your device which represent or which allow the user to interact like human, or which allows the user to interact in the best way he is convenient, then that is called human like interaction. Why we are calling human like interaction? Because most of your customers are humans. Okay, so that is what human like interaction. So if your device is having some user, you should be able to find out how your particular user is convenient of interacting with this kind of device. That kind of interaction you have to install in that, so that they'll feel convenient, they will also feel it is interacting like a human. Okay, so any examples can you tell which interact you like human other than your mobile phone?
The dolphins, sir, naturally.
That's a natural example. In the real world, do you see any devices interacting like humans these days? Have you heard
Robots.
about? Yes, yes,
So
yes.
Google Assistant, like those
Google
Alexa
Assistant
and
is one like that. Yes, you must have heard about Google Assistant. That is one example. Next,
so lock systems to any locker or
any other devices?
Smart home devices like Alexa.
Very good. So Alexa is like that only, right? And after Alexa, something else also came, Siri kind of thing. Am I right? So those are actually interacting with you like a human. Am I right? Hmm. Anything else like that? So that way, if you incorporate the interactive mode of communication, which is convenient for humans, So that's why you cannot simply say, sir, voice communication I will give in every device, or something else I will give you in every device. No. First, you must understand what is the conditions in which your system is being used or your device is being used. In that conditions, your user, what is the convenient mode of communication for your user? That is what you need to look into. Okay, it is not like that because I told human like interaction, I will give you the voice assistant, I will give the hearing assistant, I will give the touching assistance, I will give everything. No, it is not like that. So designing human like interaction is always like what your user is convenient of in the conditions where he is using this device. Okay, so that is what you must understand. That is what you must consider and build the human like interaction in your device. So if you are giving a set of features which is giving which are giving the ability to your device or to your system to interact with the user in a way the user is convenient, then that is called human like interaction. Okay, so most of your customers are humans. That is the reason why you call it as human like interaction. But it is not only limited to human like interaction. Can also be, suppose if you make a device or if you find a strategy which can communicate with the dog, then you like it, right? So that is what actually you are that is what actually you are making as a human like interaction. That can be like a dog is understanding your device. Dog is able to communicate with your device and your device is understanding dog or any other species maybe. Suppose if you want to understand the dog, definitely talking is not there, only gestures are there, only movement is there, different form is there. So the way of understanding the dog is completely different. If you give some modality in your device that will understand the dog through something, that may be gestures, that may be form, that may be its own barking or sound coming from it, then you are designing a interaction for dog. Okay, dog is just an example I'm taking, don't worry about it. This is what human like interaction, that means interaction intelligence is always like what is convenient for user. You are creating the communication between, you are creating the interaction mode of interaction between the user and your device. Okay, so what kind of mode of communication you are going to create, what kind of mode of interaction you are going to create in your device. Okay, so that is what we are talking about. That is called a human like interaction. So if you create some features which will give you that mode of communication for the user to interact with your device, then your device said to have human like interaction intelligence or interaction intelligence. Okay, so that is what mean by human like interaction or interaction intelligence. The sixth one is last one, autonomy. So everybody know, because you know automatic you all right. So what is autonomy in your opinion? Autonomy. What
So,
is
like when a
autonomy?
system is able to perform a task without manual interference.
Right. System is able to perform a task without the user interference. So user need not to do anything. Whatever the task assigned to it, without a help from the user, it will complete the task. Or without help from the owner, it will complete the task. So that is what mean by the autonomy. Autonomy means, remember, working independently, achieving achieving the task independently. That means no intervention of the owner, no intervention of the user, no intervention of anything else. It is making its own decisions, it is activating its own functions, it is showing its own behavior suitable for the environment, then completing the task. The intervention from the owner or the user is very minimal. In that case, those kind of devices are called autonomous, uh, the automatic or autonomy devices. So those devices are said to have the autonomy intelligence. Okay. So in the autonomy, can you tell any now famous? We have too many things, right? Generally, we use it as automatic. Okay. So autonomy, any examples can you tell?
So like those sensor based light, if someone comes under it, it would automatically glow.
Right. So that is a simple example. Right. Agree. Next. Anything else? Some famous examples are there
Tesla.
now.
Tesla car.
Tesla car. What do you call that? Autonomous car. Am I right? So when you say autonomous car, what do you think? What is mean by autonomy there? How you say it is autonomous or
Sir, it
independent?
takes the decisions itself according to the situation, sir.
Okay, that is very general. So where autonomy is needed actually? That's what I'm asking. Just a minute. You think about it. Yeah, sorry, mother call. Okay, so tell me. So autonomous car. If you want to call something as autonomous, that may be car, that may be table, that may be chair, or that may be a room, or that may be a building, or that may be any kind of system. If you want to call it as autonomous or independent, what should be there? What should be there? Is my question clear? What should be there? Any
So,
idea? If you
so
if you want to call
there,
something as independent,
so there must be some operating system which assess the situation and do the work.
no, it's not only car, anything. So fundamentally, what you need to have. So what are the needs it has to require? It has to fulfill. Maybe let me change the question. Suppose if you want to call some system as independent, then what are the real requirements it has to fulfill? At least can you answer that? Let us see.
So first of all, it should assess the situation uh, around itself.
For what?
So for performing certain tasks, like in an autonomous car, it should assess the traffic and going all around it to like.
Okay. So only to complete the tasks, there must be some features or something else also needed.
So this information like has to also be stored. No? So for that also.
What? What input?
So and
Why? Why?
also every situation should be predetermined, no, sir.
Every
For
situation
this
should be.
situation, every situation should be predetermined to the autonomous system, no, sir. For this situation, it need to perform this activity like that.
Mm, mm. That means you are coding everything, like our that
But sir,
Tesla
this
car.
in this
Mm,
situation, it's no sir, not in Tesla car, but in a Tesla in that sir, I think there must be a system which detects a real time thing,
mm,
so that it could and must have some pre data,
mm,
and according to that real time data which it is collecting, it could assess that to perform certain things and tasks.
mm. So I think you people don't have the idea what my question was. If you want to call some system as independent, something as independent or autonomous, it must fulfill the requirements, two important requirements. Remember, two important requirements it must fulfill through its functions. Okay, it must have functions or features that for survival, that maintain its existence. Okay, then only it can exist, it can survive, then after that it can complete its task. Completing task will come in the second step. First of all, if you want to call something as independent or something as autonomous, it must maintain its survival and existence. How it maintains its survival and existence? By through some functions and features should be there. If you are giving those features or functions in the system by using which it can exist, it can maintain its survival and existence, then you can call it as independent. If it is unable to maintain its survival and existence, then you cannot say it is independent. So maybe it is dependent. So please remember, the first point it should fulfill is there should be some functionalities that helps the system to maintain its survival, to maintain its existence. Okay, that is point number one. Second is to complete task. So to complete whatever the goals are meant for this particular device, or what are the goals it will decide to complete those tasks and goals, it must have some features and functionalities. In that case also, that it must have that capability to complete the task. In both cases, you have to give separate functionalities or common functionalities also, no problem, that actually it can maintain its survival on its own. It can decide on the task as well as completing the task on its own. Then you can call it as autonomous. You can call it as independent. Please remember. Okay. Otherwise, you cannot say something as autonomous or independent, because even the cars, they are pre-coding. Somebody said predetermined. No, they are pre-coding all the situations which may come to the car. No, that is not completely autonomous. That may be half autonomous, because if you code 10 situations, if 11th situation comes, it will fail, because it is not making decisions on its own, so it will fail. So that is the reason why it is not rule based. Autonomous means it is going to have some features which it will use on its own to maintain its survival, to maintain its existence. At the same time, it will decide which task to complete, which task is important, and it also decide how to complete it. Okay, so this level of decision capability, if you are able to achieve in any system or vehicle, then you have to call it as autonomous. Please remember. So functions which help to survive on its own, and functions which help to complete the task, decision on the task and completing the task. So both should be followed. Okay, so this is about the autonomous. So hope you understood what is mean by autonomous. In autonomous, important thing is somewhere you may code. That means it should be like this, it should be like this, it should be. I'm not talking about it. It has to decide. These 2 points you must remember very importantly, that is it maintaining its survival and existence on its own? Point number one. Second, is it actually deciding on the task and completing the task on its own? Then you can call it as autonomous. Whatever the features required for that, you have to give to the system. But decision of which feature to use, which function to use, is it's the system. It's the system who has to decide. Okay, so that is called autonomous. With that, we complete the 6 dimensions of intelligence. Okay, so with these 6 dimensions of intelligence, we complete another topic called dimensions of intelligence. Okay, so now I'll request everyone, I'll go to the next slide. Hope slide is changing. So please confirm if it is not changing. Okay.
No, sir, it's not changing.
Just a minute, it will take some time, I think. Or otherwise, I'll go back and now is it coming? New slide is coming.
Yes, sir. Designing for intelligent behavior.
Designing for intelligent behavior. Hope you remember. So now we understood what are the different types of behaviors you can create in your device. different types of behaviors you can create in your device. Always remember, you are giving a set of functions or set of features that is actually creating the behavior. That behavior may be of a some kind which we discussed in the previous topic. Okay, that may be cooperative, and in some systems, in many systems, you see, in many systems you see one behavior is overlapped on other, or they are appearing combinedly. In some systems you don't find some behaviors like human like interaction. In some systems you may not find the personality, they just randomly work. In some systems you may not find the cooperative intelligence, like that. So we may find the combined intelligence, we may find individual intelligence in different devices and systems. Now this figure you must have remembered. Now you are building a behavior. Okay, you are designing the intelligent behavior, and I am saying that these functions are always crucial to create that behavior. So when I'm saying functions are crucial to create the behavior, so if you assume these functions, whatever f is there, these functions are creating, you think that if I give these all functions, then my expected behavior will come in the system. But one limitation will come to you. One limitation will be there. What is that limitation? Because this functionality you have to put in a structure. These functionalities you have to put in a structure. Am I right? If it is a physical device, something electronics you will use, some mechanical parts you will use. You have to integrate them together in a certain fashion. That means you are defining a structure. So when you define the structure, this structure may limit some functionality. This structure may limit some functionality. In that particular case, that is what 8 means. This structure may introduce some functions, may limit some functions also. Okay. So in that particular case, instead of your expected behavior, you are going to get structure driven behavior. Structure driven behavior. So when you get structure driven behavior, that structure driven behavior may be different to that of your expected behavior. So this will tell you, so this kind of thing, that's why in the natural world, in nature, if you see, different animals are there, different species are there. Do you think all behaviors are same? Do you think all species behavior, all animals, birds, humans behaviors are same? Yes or no?
No, sir. Slightly
No,
different.
definitely different. Even monkey, which are our ancients, monkeys are our ancients, right? So even with respect to monkey, if you compare also, there is a change in structure. Your body form and structure is different. And there are change in functionalities. The same time change in behavior also. Okay, because we expect everything should behave like humans, but it is not possible, because there will be impact of structure on behavior. That's why different forms and structures are there for animals. The same way, different behaviors are also there in the animals. But your target is, in the initially, I told you already, you have to reduce this gap. You have to reduce this gap. You have to find the optimized structure for your device that can support maximum functions and that will exhibit the expected behavior. Okay, so your expected behavior and the structurally supported behavior, if you want them to be same, then what you have to do, you have to optimize the structure to accommodate all the functions, to accommodate all the functions. For example, you take a sparrow or you take a buffalo, there is no function of talking. There is no function of talking, right? That means the structure which is there in the buffalo is not supporting the function of talking. That's why you can't expect the human behavior in buffalo, but it has a structurally driven behavior. Please try to understand structurally driven behavior, because that structure is accommodating only some functions. Some functions it is not allowing. That is the reason why you have structurally driven behavior. Why I'm talking about this? Because if you want to design an intelligent behavior, nature is going to be a best place where you can observe different structures, different functions, and different behaviors. Am I right? So, do you see anywhere else different structures, different functions, and different behaviors other than nature or other than natural systems? Is there anything else where you can see different structures, different functions, and different behaviors? There is nothing. There is nothing. Okay? That's why the concept of metaphor or analogy based, that is nothing but we are taking inspiration from something. So previously I told in the beginning of this course, I told you why I am teaching this class, why I am teaching this course. I am teaching this course because I am working on the bio inspiration. So I will work on bio inspirations. So that's why I'm teaching this course. Here it is how the intelligence is connected to nature. In nature, you find different systems. In those systems, forms are very different. In those forms also, according to the form, functionalities are changing, or according to the structure, functionalities are changing. When structurally dependent functionalities are there, there will be structurally dependent behavior also. If you are able to understand that, if you are able to understand that, how natural systems are behaving, how natural systems are using functions, how natural systems are actually having function as per their structure. If you really understand that, designing intelligent behavior is easy in your devices. That is what called metaphor based intelligent system design. Metaphor means it's an inspiration, analogy. Okay, so that is where from your artificial intelligence, your neural network, everything came. Okay, so that's the reason why for intelligent behavior, nature is a great resource for your observation, to take inspirations, to consider them as metaphors, and to consider as analogies. If you consider one particular animal, in that you are going to observe different functions in different conditions, how they are getting activated, then how they are connected to its structure. If you understand, you will understand, okay, this behavior is structurally dependent because these features are structured in this particular, these functions are there in this particular animal. Because of these functions, it is behaving like this. You will understand that. Once you understand that, you will get an idea, okay, what kind of structure give me required set of functions? What kind of behavior, if I'm targeting some kind of behavior, so what kind of structure and what kind of functionalities are needed in order to build that behavior? So that is where nature help you to understand and build the behaviors. Okay, so that's the reason why you can take inspirations from nature, observe the structure of the inspiration, That may be animal, bird, humans, or anything else. Living, non-living, all natural systems can inspire you. So you observe their structure and functionality relations. Once you understand them, you'll come to know which functions create what kind of behavior and how structure will organize them. Okay, that is more important. So one example I can tell, if you replace your nose from the position where it is to different place, your structure is changing. So definitely, if the nose go to the different place in your body, your behavior also will change. That is what I am telling. Structurally dependent behavior. Okay. So structure decides or limit functions. The functions decides the behavior. Okay. But here, what you are exactly observing in nature is, especially if you observe the nature, in a particular case, some functionalities are activated in these animals or birds or humans or any other natural or living or non-living systems. How these functionalities are activated, based on what they are deciding, I have to use this function. Suppose I will tell you one example. If somebody throw a ball and they want you to catch, okay, they want you to catch. So when they want you to catch, he uses hands. He or she use hands in a particular fashion. He bend fingers in a particular fashion. He'll change its form in a particular fashion. He will actually stand in a particular fashion. He will bend in a particular fashion. Okay? He is deciding everything. Okay? So that is how functionalities are changing with external conditions that you are going to see in the nature. If you are able to understand that, then you will understand intelligence. That may be any kind of intelligence, it doesn't matter. You will understand intelligence. So that is where it will be important to observe what kind of information is reaching the system and how it is actually activating the intelligence. Intelligence is activated through the number of functionalities. Okay, so that is what you are going to observe in nature. That is the reason why metaphor based intelligence system design is very important. Your artificial intelligence, your neural networks are actually bio inspired. They took inspiration from biological things. Okay, so with that, let me stop this discussion. So I expect you to do the assignment in this class itself. So same as last class. Last time you applied, I think 3. Is my PPT visible now? I changed the slide. I kept intelligent products
Yes, sir.
assignment. Yeah. So in this last time you applied cooperative and adaptability and reactive intelligence to make a smart dining table. Am I right? Now you have to give the personality intelligence. What features you are going to induce into dining table to give a personality, and what kind of personality you want to give to the table. Next, human like interaction. What kind of interactive features you are going to give to the dining table so that it will become human friendly. And autonomy, how you are going to make dining table autonomous, what kind of features you are going to give, what kind of functionalities you are going to give to the dining table. Okay, so that particular workout you have to do in this class. But here please remember, I think previously also I told you, here dining table means table plus chairs together. It is not only table, it is table plus chairs together. Okay, so if you work out these 3, that means our next assignment will be over. Okay, so you please start working on that. So after 20 minutes again I will be available. I will be available up to 4:30. You can discuss with me if you want anything. Please start doing the assignment. So what is the question? Question is same. Question is develop the smart dining table concept applying different intelligence dimensions. Now you have to apply only three. That is personality, human-like interaction, and autonomy. Okay. So hope the slide is changed now. Yes. So please start doing that. Then we will discuss after I rejoin. Okay. I'll be back at 3:45. Okay. If you have any questions, we can discuss. I will be available up to 4:30. You please keep doing that. Keep applying that. Keep giving features or functions and see what kind of behavior will emerge out. Suppose if you give personality, what kind of personality you are giving and what features you have to give to bring that personality behavior. Okay. Same way, what kind of interactive behavior you are giving, interactive intelligence you are creating in that particular system, and what are the features you need to give for that. Okay. So how you can make this dining table autonomous. Okay. And what are the features you need to give for that. So that is what you need to work out. So I will share the assignment with you. I think it is ready already. So it's there. So I'll share the assignment now itself. You have to submit it by 5:30. Okay. So I shared assignment also. So please start doing that. So I will rejoin at 4:45. Yeah. So I'm here. If you have any question, you can ask. I'm stopping recording. Okay, so that